I just want to share my thoughts for a moment about this idea of Canada becoming the 51st state. I would be an absolute member of the overwhelming Canadian majority that is not the least bit interested in this. Now, it's not a deep anti-American feeling or anti-anything. It's the fact that we're Canadians and we've worked very hard to build a country for better and for worse, and acknowledging our history and acknowledging the wrongs that this country's been part of and the good things this country's achieved. But all that said, I run a travel business. I'm lucky enough to genuinely travel the world. So I've never been a person who's gone out to only buy Canadian and so forth. I'm doing it now because we're actually under attack, and genuine attack, and people are unpacking it. In fact, what motivated me to give this little talk today, because my channel is not a political channel. I have that elsewhere. This is sharing the world and traveling the world and experiencing the beauty of our planet and the diversity and the goodness of people. That's what I really love to explore. But, I was riding my bike up the hill. I live in a national park in the Canadian Rockies here, and I was listening to yet another podcast, and this one talking about rare earth minerals. And is that actually what Trump's goal is, to get a hold of Canadian-owned rare earth minerals? Same reason they'd be going after Greenland, perhaps. Or perhaps we're just kind of overthinking it. It is really troubling for us in this country to see what is going on south of the border. It is terrifying. I have so many close, dear American friends, and I really want to say this from the heart, because some of them have actually supported the current president, shockingly to me, but they have their reasons for that. But when he stands up and starts to make these jokes, as he did pre-inauguration, saying that the Prime Minister of Canada is actually the governor of the 51st state, and it's like throwing mud at a wall, and if it sticks, you start throwing more mud. That's what it feels like to me. I don't think there's a deep, long-term plan to unpack. I do think there's an awful lot of extremely powerful people, extremely wealthy people who stood up on, of course, the stage during his inauguration, that are maybe talking his ear. But it is a shocking feeling as a Canadian to think that our best friend, closest neighbor, trading partner is actually presenting this not only as a plan, but the vitriolic attacks towards us. Now, that said, it is terrifying for the people of Greenland, who fall under, of course, the Kingdom of Denmark, and Denmark being a NATO country as well. And of course, Greenland has been marching towards its own independence. They have a strong connection to Nunavut in the far north of Canada and to Alaska. The Inuit people, that is a beautiful sense of indigeneity and a beautiful sense of identity. And they are people sitting over a pretty important part of our world. Who are they bordering? Well, they're bordering Russia. Look at the top of the globe, Canada, Greenland. There's Russia the other side. And so this brings us to the point of how Ukraine is now being attacked and blamed. So whatever the leadership is, whatever the reasons, and it's for, I guess, Americans to unpack that, except for, I used to travel with, I lead tours all over the world. I used to travel with conservative Americans who said, it's not our business what other countries do, and it's not their business. Well, this leadership now is sticking its nose in everyone else's business. Literally everyone else's business. And in this particular case, they're having a direct go at our country here. They're having a go at little Panama, and I can unpack that. I spent a lot of time in Panama. You can watch some of my videos. They're having a go at poor Greenland. They're not standing up to defend Ukraine, which was a sovereign state that was attacked by Russia, invaded by Russia. They're backing away from their allies in Western Europe. It is terrifying. So I guess in just a 5-minute segment, I want to say that as a fellow Canadian, I like to welcome our American friends here, as I do our European friends, our South American friends, our Chinese friends. I'm not nearly as anti-Asia as it seems to be the flavor of the last couple of years. Everyone's welcome. We can all trade. The idea is to come together over human rights and the environment and challenges we have as a human population in this world. And hiding behind and pretending that these borders are sacrosanct insofar as the environment stops at the border or rights stop at the border. Remember back to the end of World War II, one of the biggest things was the Marshall Plan, flooding money into Europe to stop the spread of authoritarianism. Back then they called it communism. Well, we could have these same conversations about Central America. We could have that. But instead, it looks like the leadership in the United States is actually talking about empire. Well, I don't want to be part of an empire. I want to have my own debates here in my province, in my country, in my trade region, and in the world. So, no to the 51st state. Hello to people who stand up for human rights and a general sense of equality. Thank you for your support. And this is a really, really trying time for a lot of us. And please stand strong and stand together.